Very interesting. Now, to get more specific, how important is it to actually know the path ahead versus being in the game? Because like I guess what I'm trying to ask is there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there stuck at the 6-figure level trying to get to 7, 8, 8 to 9, right? So on and so forth. As an entrepreneur, that level always exists. But from 6 to 7, what was the psychology that needed to happen? Was it the tactical stuff in the game, or was it really just the pressure of I got to get to 7 and putting enough pressure on yourself forces you to figure it out? Do you get what I'm asking?
Yeah.
How much of it was more motivation to get to 7 figures versus was tactical to get to 7 figures? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me was, like in our business, we have a big value ladder, which is just a suite of products and services, right? It's a stack of products and services. Whereas we're not selling $10 items.
Right.
Right? We have bigger packages, right? So to get to 7 figures, it doesn't take as much to do 7 figures a year.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a big thing. I see a lot of people who want to get to 7 figures, but they're selling trinkets. So it takes a while.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm selling,
$10
wooden balls,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, man, it wasn't that I was driven by 7 figures. Because going back to Liberty University, when I died and came back to life in 2005, I had awakened to my purpose, which I began to get visions of speaking on stages of stadiums. Like I would get them when I was dreaming. I would get them when I'm walking. I mean, even when I close my eyes, I can see it, right?
Even though your current reality didn't
Even
match.
though my current reality didn't match at all. And the word that I had received in 2005 was to share your story and help other people share their story. And I didn't know, I mean, it was a couple years ago that I really figured out what that actually meant. And that's through helping other people share their expertise. Am I fulfilling my purpose, which is sharing my story and helping other people share their story, right? For me, what pulls me, I mean, it's a real pull, is that vision becoming a reality. And who do I need to become in the process to stand on a stage with a stadium of 30, 40, 50,000 people, right?
Yeah.
Back in 2005, when I was at Liberty University, I wasn't in a state of being, right? I hadn't developed the character, the skills, the communication ability
Discipline,
that I have now. I wasn't worthy of standing on that stage at that time. I mean, I was worthy, but I hadn't developed the acumen to be there, right?
Makes sense.
So for me, yeah, I had a declaration of producing $1 million a month, right? And that's all great. But for me, what gets me out of bed in the morning is the impact, and it's the pull of the vision that I had received, that I was praying on. I mean, I was really praying about it. You think about it, 2003 was when I died and came back to life.
That's incredible.
Right?
Yeah. Wow.
2 years later is when I received the vision of what I was supposed to do. I had received the word of what I was supposed to do. And that only came because I went super deep into the word, into scripture, and into prayer. About as passionate as you can get. I mean, I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, writing scripture on note cards and just and fully immersing myself. I believe in immersion, right? That's why we do workshops. It's like,
Right.
and even Tony Robbins talks about like immersion, right? When you go to his events, it's 4 days, and it's like
You go deep,
8
not
a.m.
wide.
to, or it's like 8 a.m. to midnight, right? It's like these huge days.
Even beyond, till 2 a.m. Yeah.
So for me, the pull is its impact. The pull is I know that I have there's a bigger reason that I'm here, and that I have lives to impact and lives to change.
No, I love that.
For me.
Yeah.
The money is a result of doing good work. The money is a result of selling products and services that people get value from. That's all that is.
Yeah, it's a byproduct of your results.
It's a byproduct of your results.
Very cool. Now talk to me for the digital marketers out there. Talk about the importance of a value ladder and what that can create in your business versus just somebody who says hey, I want to sell a course for $500 or $1,000 or $2,000. Just talk to me quickly about for audience listening. What is a value ladder and how does it work?
Yeah.
Because me and you know it as digital marketers, right? $47 product, $97, $197. But talk a little bit about how important that is and what that does to build a customer base of raving fans in the long run.
Yeah. So important to think through the value ladder. I mean, I spend a lot of my time helping others create that process of like, what are they going to sell? What are they going to offer? And how do you ascend people along the journey? How do they go up to the next level, right? And I think the way to think about it is some of my partners, Brad and Ryan and Jimmy. And so these guys are specialists in helping people create wealth and then keep it.
Yeah.
Right? Really, very important. If you're going to make a lot of money, it's better to keep a lot of money, right? You don't want to give it all away, right?
Right.
And so one of the things that they had a mindset coming into a conversation with me was, okay, Bryan, if we can just break even on our front end, we'll be happy. And that was a really interesting mindset to have, because I've seen a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot by thinking that they're going to launch a webinar, they're going to sell a course, and they're going to become millionaires. Now, you can do that, right? You can do that. But there's a lot of unknown factors that go into producing a course, advertising that course, right? And all the expenses that come around that.
And the time, effort,
the
stress.
time, the effort, the energy, the team that you need. If you're not, doing it all yourself is silly.
Particularly if you don't know what you're doing up front, yeah.
Right. Now, if you have an expertise in it, then great. But most people don't have an expertise in tech and copywriting and storytelling, all that stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Right? Design, that's a whole other animal.
Yeah.
Right? So they had a really great mindset, which was, if we can just break even on, and so knowing where your point of break even is and being willing to break even on your front end. I've done webinars with guys in the past where they have a $1,000 product and they're like, they needed to make $1 million selling just $1,000 product. And I've seen that like kill so many projects because they're not thinking about the back end, right? So my cash flow guys, they were able to go from zero, literally from zero, and they were already in the game. They'd hired amateurs. They're in Russell's mastermind with me. They were already in the game, but they hadn't cracked the code. We sat down, we mapped out their path, their value ladder, if you will, and they did over $10 million in 7 months.
Wow.
It's because they have a well thought through process in which people can ascend. And for them in their business, it's a webinar, which is a great way to build a relationship. It's one of the fastest ways to build relationships online because you have an hour.
Even if they don't buy the product at the end of that particular initial webinar or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's another biggie. Most people think that they need to monetize. I need to do a webinar. I need to make money on it right now. Well, that's just. You gotta understand. They're not all fast starts. They're not all ready to give you money.
Yeah, short-term thinking. Yeah.
Very short-term thinking. So when you build a webinar, understand that you're going to have people that are going to buy from you weeks and months in advance. And I have to show clients that a lot of times. I say, take a look at this. We'll have, let's say we do a webinar. We have 10 people buy. Out of those 10 people, we'll have 3 of them that have been on the list for at least a month, getting emails.
Yeah.
Every day or every other day, however much content there is. I'd be like, look, if it wasn't for these emails being dripped on them over the course of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, this person might not have purchased. But it was through the relationship building process, that constant value add, now they're comfortable with making the decision to make an investment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense.
So that's biggie.
And then how about in terms of going from, a $47 product to a $97 product? Where is it where, it's too much of initial products, if you will? Because I know back in the day there was ebooks selling for $47. Now most of the time ebooks are free, right?
Right.
Or you do a free book with purchase, just sort of get people familiar with your content, value add. Is there any limitations on what, Bryan Dulaney, in your experience, would say are important to have for initial product offerings before a 1K, 2K course? Or does it just depend on the nature of your product and business?
I would say it's the nature of your business, but if you're an expert, I would say you create a signature proprietary process, okay? We're creating a new one now. And we're creating it for our team so we can scale that service. And then we'll do a webinar and sell it to the public, right, as an information product, where they can train their teams or they can train themselves. And then the ascension model is we can do it for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, done for you services at a premium, obviously,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I like, you can go straight to a webinar, to a course sale. That's totally fine. You could also sprinkle in a lead magnet, like a free report or a checklist or a blueprint or a quiz or something
Or
that's
ebook,
free, right? What that does is it drops your lead acquisition rates, right? Now you can then back end a webinar. So you say free lead magnet. I was just on the marketers cruise this past week with a guy who's doing 80 million a year, and literally his process is lead magnet, webinar, sale.
What was the product?
Bro, that's kind of old school.
Yeah, it was like a high ticket course or something.
He has an outsourcing company with over 500 employees.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So he kind of sells people into that package. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. And if you love this video, be sure to leave a comment. Tell me your top 3 takeaways or top takeaway from today's video. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you can get notified every time that we upload a new video here on YouTube. And before you go, make sure you grab your free golden ticket. This free golden ticket is loaded with our 7-figure and our 8-figure expert agency and e-commerce funnels, emails, and scripts that we've used to build multi-million-dollar businesses in a variety of different markets. So thank you again for watching this video. Hope you got massive value from it, and I look forward to hearing what your takeaway was from this video. And also, I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos that we will be releasing.